Hey guys, it's Longridr, and today I will be going through the tools on the Xbox One this time instead of the PC on how to move, rotate, and yada yada objects on console. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the first tool that we have here is the move tool. Well, first and only, and you could just move it like normal. And to be precise, in this version, you have to press X and go to edit coordinates. And it's a bit different than how it is on PC, that is for sure. You don't have move with object size, which is kind of a detriment, but you can move with coordinates. So we can line everything up like this. It might take a little bit longer on X and Y axis. Get the feel for this. And right there. So custom objects are possible. It's just going to take a little bit more effort on the console goers. Okay, and if we want to copy and paste to move and get like a even like spacing between them, we just click duplicate, and so that happens. And then we kind of stick that as close as we can get to being precise, like right there. There we go. Now it looks almost in sync, which helps anyways because you don't want the flashies. So I guess that's one upside to this method. And then we can move it along the axis again, which can get kind of annoying, and you can hold right trigger and left click to go quicker, or right, or not, whatever. Use the D-pad. And then there we go. So now we have this going. And that's how you copy and paste things at almost like a set interval. Okay, so we want to create the same house that we did before. And to do that, we will need to copy this, duplicate, bring it back over here, and then we will rotate. And this time we will do edit coordinates again, but on the not X, definitely not X, I believe it's Y axis. Not Y axis either, Z axis. Third time's the charm. And then to make it quicker, you could always just hit the right trigger and it goes up 90 degrees. And that saves a lot of time. So just keep that in mind, that when you hold right trigger and then right D-pad or left, it's 90 degrees when you're rotating. That, ooh, lifesaver. And then we'll get this as close as we possibly can. There we go. Okay, I like it. I like it. And then we'll copy and duplicate this a few times. Bang. Alright, and then if we wanted to select multiple objects, it's a little bit different in this one. You could either just hold right trigger and grab them, like so, or you could always hold right trigger and then up and down, or up and down on your left stick to get a wider select radius, and then select what you want. So let's say these objects. There we go. And then on the Xbox, it looks like it's automatically rotating from the center, so you don't have to do any extra business to get it to do that. So that's pretty nice. And we can duplicate, and of course it moves it. It moves it, and it looks like it puts them out of place a little. Not sure what's going on there, but let's try that again. Okay, so now that we have them selected again for the first time, let's do this again, but not mess up the rotate. Oh, hey, look, it's out of sync again. Alright, well, let's just edit the coordinates on these. And now it looks like the camera moved over here. I hope it's still on the right axis. Let's see. Okay, it is. Okay. Alright, well, with a little fine-tuning, it can look almost the same as the computer. We just have to get everything lined up right here. Move this into the correct area. There we go. And then this little funny guy right here, not wanting to be what he wants to be when he grows up, will move right to there. Okay. And now we got that out of the way. So now we'll take this and we'll create a little roof to go on top. So we'll just rotate this. And coordinates, again, are a lifesaver on the console version. Rotate that about there. And then move, duplicate, get it pretty close to where it needs to be Awesome, awesome. And then we'll go back into the options and rotate again, but this time we'll do the long way. Not that way, this way. So 45 degrees. There we go. And now we'll take it from here and we'll go with coordinates, because I figure that might be a little bit faster. All right. Almost in line. Almost in line. Okay, there we go. Coordinates. It might waste a bit more time than the computer version doing it on the like making stuff on the console, but I mean, it's an editor. At least we have it. Okay, so we'll just take these once I can select them all, and then go into move. And we don't want to do that. Don't want to do that. We want to duplicate. There we go. And for some reason it kept its height, which is good. That's one good thing. And we will rotate, for some reason, just that object, even though I had them all selected. Let's reselect them all. Okay. All three are selected now. And then object options, edit coordinates. And will we get it? There we go. There we go. We have gotten it. Wrong one. Wrong axis. Third times. Nope, that was the right axis. And with a little more fine-tuning, there we go. It's about right. You can add more to the top to get to where you want to be for a roof. But there you go. That's kind of how you rotate and stuff on the Xbox. There's not 3 options to choose from. It's just one big option, and with a lot of stuff in it. And it kind of gives you a little thing on the left side that tells you what everything does. So if you have a lot of stuff selected, you could just hit right trigger to deselect again. Yeah, it's pretty self-explanatory there, but that's how you use it to create like custom houses and get the almost the same results as the computer, but taking the long way around. Longridr from the future here. A few things I forgot to go over. It looks like they have some interesting movement options in this. So I guess, let's say you have the object up here, you can drop it to ground like that, just hitting down on the D-pad. And then you can also change the way it reacts with terrain by hitting left, and that makes it follow the terrain. So let's say you have the bump tool, grab the terrain, there we go, and then we'll go back to the object. If you have it on follow terrain, it'll just go up the terrain. But if you turn that off, it'll move through, and then drop to ground brings it to the terrain height. There we go. And then the restore orientation tool, all that is if you have it rotated at a certain angle, it'll go back to the one it was just at. And there you go. It's a quick way to undo without hitting the undo button, I guess. There's also a pivot position, which I find can be useful. I don't think I'd ever really use it. Maybe if I want to rotate it at a certain place, but it just changes the way you have the rotation set. And I guess all that entails is just where it rotates from. And one cool way to use this, which kind of works for PC too, if you have this object here and another object not up here but down here, there we go, and you select both, you could set the pivot point at this object, then move. That didn't work. Let's try that again. Alright, select both, set the pivot point, and move. So ignore everything I just said about the pivot point. I guess it only works for the one object, and I mean that's alright. I don't see me ever using it on the console versions. Wow, I don't think I could go back to the Xbox version. The console version just kind of seems a bit underwhelming. I mean, you could get things done, but it would take 3 times as long. So I applaud everyone who's editing on the consoles right now. I mean, bravo. Bravo. I'll still make the tutorials, but if you remake what I made from these tutorials on the Xbox, send it to me, because I'd be really impressed. Cause, I mean, this is a great editor, but when I have the option between the PC and the console right now, I'll probably have to stick it to the PC. So hopefully they add more options in the future for the this console version. But it is pretty great. I mean, There's a lot of stuff you can do in this editor in both versions, but the console version will be the long way around. I just see that right now. Now hopefully with this tutorial you can kind of follow along with my more advanced tutorials making other objects. And I can definitely tell on the console it'll be a bit more difficult to achieve the same results, but you'll get there. Even if it might be a tad bit more sloppy, it'll almost be the same. Almost, barely. Okay, well, have a good one. Bye.